Alright guys, so the Iran war is starting to crack the US economy. As we have said many times, all Iran really has to do is to just hold on tight and Trump's going to lose whatever remaining leverage he has left. Now even today, there's still a very big disconnect between fantasy and reality in the Trump administration. Now Scott Bessent, our best friend, the new war expert, is telling the American people, the public, that Iran is on the verge of collapse, that the strait will be opening up shortly, and how the US is winning the war.
Uh, we have them by the throat, and they've got 150, 180% food inflation, not able to pay the troops. So I think shortly, maybe even today, tomorrow, we are going to see an agreement, 30, 60-day ceasefire, and strait will be open. Energy prices should come down.
And the delusion keeps going on. Now, Besson just promised a strong third quarter this year. There will be higher wages, stronger companies, more options for customers, and a durable expansion. Now, guys, this really sounds like a utopia, but why even try to sell the dream? Why is he really trying so hard? If the US economy was so robust and Iran is indeed collapsing, you don't need to cherry pick all the numbers. Now, the 5.8% GDP forecast obviously won't come true. That is the prediction from the Atlanta Fed. They always revise the numbers most of the time down. And productivity growth is not something people really look at. The real reason Besson is putting all these numbers is because the real economy is imploding. It is tanking. And the longer the Iran war drags on, the economy will stare down high inflation. High inflation is going to make rates stay sticky, which forces interest rates even higher. And if you're an employer, pray tell, how are you going to react? You are stuck between a customer who can't spend more. In fact, they are cutting back. At the same time, you're staring down the barrel of something very horrible. Higher rates are also making the idea of expansion impossible. And that's why US employers are not just hiring less, they are starting to cut jobs. Now, the July report was a bloodbath, and notice the trend here. Ever since Trump started the war, US payrolls, they have been dropping lower and lower and lower. Now, the crisis is how much the jobs number missed expectations. It's a sign that the war in Iran is going very badly for the US economy. Now, all the economists, they all expected a gain of 80,000 to 100,000 jobs. On average, they expected 83,000. But the report came in at minus 23,000 jobs. Not only did the US economy not create any jobs, they lost jobs instead. That is how twisted the situation is. That is why Iran's plan of taking over Hormuz and the Al-Mandeb Strait as well, choking oil supply, it is working. They made all their calculations and they are now executing it. But here's the ironic part. The Trump administration also has a lot of blame to take. Their policies are just downright bizarre and self-defeating. Now, the US job market has been stuck in no man's land ever since Trump took over, and it is about to get worse. Now, since 2025, job growth under Trump is just not there. The US used to add at least 100 to 150,000 jobs a month. I'm not saying Biden was perfect, but at least there was some job growth. But ever since Trump took over, it is flat to negative at best. And what do you expect when you are fighting a kinetic war plus the trade war at the exact same time? The US economy is getting hammered with higher tariffs, higher inflation, and a weaker consumer. No company is going to take the risk by expanding. In fact, they're cutting jobs. And by cutting jobs, they are giving Trump a very clear signal. The entire system, our business, the economy is in pure trouble. But of course, Trump still thinks he's the king of the world. He still is determined to weaponize the US economy against the world. Now, his latest threat to Switzerland tells us that troubles are just not over yet, and Trump really believes he can control the universe.
Take a look at Switzerland. We have a $39 billion deficit. I can wipe out that deficit in one stroke of the pen, and they're no longer an elite country. And all I have to do is say, I don't want any of your watches, I don't want any of your goods. And we save ourselves 39, 40, 41 billion dollars, and they go from being elite to being very troubled.
Now, if we look at the markets, it seems like the jobs report didn't even face stocks. and the S&P has risen to record highs. And this is where we need to break down how disconnected markets are from reality. The S&P has risen to a record close on Friday. We are now at an all-time high of 7750, and it all has to do with the interpretation of the jobs report, how it connects to interest rates, and frankly, that's the only thing the markets really care about right now. And here's how disconnected things are. Because the jobs came in at much weaker than expected, markets believe the Federal Reserve just can't hike rates anymore. Because if the Fed does bring interest rates up, the entire US economy will be on the brink of collapse. There will be a crash. And that's why we have the stock market rising to all-time highs. They believe we are in the all clear that inflation will magically subside, rates stay where they are, and the Fed really doesn't ever need to hike. No one really cares about the job situation, at least in the markets. This does, however, confirm the US K-shaped economy. This is where people at the bottom, they're earning much less and they're suffering much more. But people at the top, especially those with a ton of assets, they're enjoying all the benefits. And Scott Besson is tired of us, you and me, complaining about it.
So we are starting to see, I got sick of hearing about this K-shaped economy. I can say here definitively, the K-shaped economy is over.
And Besson is doing his best to gaslight us. He keeps harping on how wage growth has grown by 4.6% for the median working American. Firstly, we don't believe that the inflation numbers and a 4.6% growth doesn't mean squat today. Inflation is probably double of that in reality when you go to the supermarket, when you go to the pump. Secondly, the highest income earners, they are the ones with the most assets like stocks. And as the markets continue to move up, their overall net worth moves higher and higher. That is the K-shaped economy Besson keeps wanting to deny. Now, every time Trump starts a new war, whether that is economic, like the trade tariffs, or whether that is kinetic war, like what we are seeing with Iran, the rich knows how to position themselves. They know exactly what type of assets to buy, and Trump is becoming a very inflationary president. So whether you hold gold or stocks, the dollar is going to collapse while assets will keep rising and rising and rising until something breaks. Now, this is a very alarming chart that we need to consider. The top 1% of households in the US controls 32% of all national wealth. The middle class are getting squeezed out. The working poor are 50 times larger than the richest 1%, but they hold even less wealth than that. That is the very definition of a K-shaped economy. This is a disaster. And within the jobs report itself, we have yet another pressing problem. Yes, the economy did lose over 23,000 jobs. However, if the war continues, if rates continue to stay high, and if tariffs continue to exist, this is going to unravel everything in sight. Now, in July, over 60,000 jobs were created across industries like construction, IT, and transportation, and manufacturing. But a lot of these sectors are highly driven by the recent data center build-out. The AI boom is one of the few things holding up the US economy and generating jobs. Now, research has found that across key sectors, including construction, information, and professional services, job growth flies up after a data center opens. And we are looking at anywhere from 11 to 22% in the local area. So yes, data centers do contribute to job growth in the United States, especially the areas, the states that accept these data centers. But this also shows us how vulnerable the entire US economy is to one single sector. Now, if the AI build-out ends, it's going to be game over for the US economy. China, however, for example, has multiple industries to lean on. They have EVs, solar panels, chemicals, shipbuilding, finance, and more. So even if the AI collapses, the entire complex collapses globally, China's going to be fine. But the US won't, sad to say. Now just look at the data center infrastructure in the United States. This is just in November 2025. So this chart is even more convoluted. It's even more worse today. We have more than 4,000 data centers here with a ton of transmission lines connected to multiple power grids. It looks like a mess. And as long as the build-out continues, there will be job growth in the United States. People will have jobs building out power plants, energy lines, and data centers themselves. But here's the crazy part. All of that is predicated in ensuring US financial markets don't collapse first. But Trump is still going to play a game of chicken with Iran. We have new strikes happening, and Trump keeps trying to string the markets along. He keeps telling us a new deal is close. Now, Besson told us that the deal should come by Wednesday, but guys, it's Saturday. There's only so much BS the markets can deal with before things re-collapse again. Iran is going to take their time. They are in no hurry. They are busy analyzing the wordings one by one. They want maximum leverage. So the big rise in all the stock prices and the drop in bond yields is just a sugar high that can't last indefinitely. And if you think the BS can't escalate, Trump just hyped the US economy again. Now, remember when he touted $16 trillion in investments? Well, I guess the number just flew to the moon again. It is just incredible here.
We have 19.2 in actually 12 months, but we'll add something to it. So it's now going to be over $20 trillion. And by the way, no country ever in history has done anywhere near that number. Nobody's seen what's happening today in our country. Nobody has seen anything like it. And hopefully you'll see it again, but only for us. I think it's going to be hard to match, however.
All this just poses extreme expectations on the US economy. Nothing can go wrong. Oil prices can't go any higher, or inflation will get supercharged again. And if that happens, the Federal Reserve will be forced to hike interest rates despite the falling jobs number. And this is why the Fed is trapped. This is why the entire US economy is trapped as well. US unemployment has dropped down to just 4.1%. Now, it is a decrease, but the real reason is very insidious. It's because over 250,000 people left the labor force. It wasn't because of job growth. People are just not looking for jobs anymore. It's just like a bakery that claimed they have a massive worker shortage, their shortage improved because two frustrated bakers quit and they just walked out of the door. This is voodoo economics. It doesn't make sense. This is a Twilight Zone economy that Trump is operating in. This is a Jenga tower economy missing a few bricks, a wooden house soaking gasoline with Iran holding the match. This is the situation today. So the entire health of the economy now lies on the AI data center build up. We are relying on the rise of the machines. And if you trace the genesis of the risk, it's now Trump who manages to de-escalate the war. It all boils down on that. Because if he blows things up further, it's game over for the US economy. Annual spending on AI infrastructure itself is a disgusting 2 to 3% of US GDP. Just understand that alone. And it's getting worse with each passing quarter. Imagine the amount now hitting an incredible $1.5 trillion annualized. That's how much money is being spent. That's investments into computers, communications, software, data centers, and other hardware. Guys, we aren't even counting the labor costs just yet. And if things devolve, the entire economy could literally implode. Trump has lost control of the entire situation, and the jobs number is the canary in the coal mine. But as always, let me know what you think. Will US jobs continue to crash in the months to come? And is Trump going to screw up the Iran deal and even trigger a recession in the US economy? We're all losing our minds here. But as always, let me know what you think. Stay safe, smash the like button and subscribe as we navigate through these insane times.